Well, welcome back to another episode of Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what's going on?
We are not even close to being ready.
Hell yeah, we are. We're firing it up right now.
Your camera's not even up.
That's fine. Put it up then. Oh my God. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is episode 132. Hey, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, well, that'll do. Turn it a little bit more so you get more of the... There you go. Crushed it. See, now everybody knows kind of what's going on here. This is how we start every episode.
Am I even in this?
Yeah, man, you're good. How's it going today? You doing all right?
I'm a dumpster fire. Look at this. I still got to pour my good old John L. Sullivan's Irish whiskey. Make sure you pick it up at Addie's. It's 25 bones for $7.50, right?
Yeah. How about our other sponsors today? You want to talk about them?
750 milliliters. No, because I got to pour. I got to get situated. Can you take this off the table? You and your 4-gallon water bottle.
While Mike pours, I'll introduce our sponsor. Can you tip me up a little bit? Like, I feel like my head's cut off here. Like, my God. You know what I'm saying?
You're so needy.
That's what I get for starting so early. We got meetings to attend after this, and then I got to eat some dinner. So we're going to do another... You're probably getting all seasick from this, but we're going to do another round of double episodes where we're going to try to talk... I'll fix it. Don't worry about it. We're going to try to talk for an hour and a half, and then... No, you're fine. Sit down. You're good. I'll do it. We're going to try to talk for an hour and a half so you guys have episodes because we're going to be out of town for a little bit. So we'll get to that in a second. But thank you to our sponsors. First of all, Queen City Creative Works. They're basically an Etsy shop on steroids. They can do whatever you want. It's a husband and wife that own the business. They're good friends of ours, and they do amazing work like this table right here. And they also have done our water bottle and bottle opener that Mike has in front of him right now. They're currently for sale on their website at queencitycreativeworks.com. You can go over there and buy them. They're very relatively cheap, basically, for what you're getting. They're very good products, and they're going to last forever. They're laser engraved, so it's not like it's going to wear off every time you wash it. So it's a very good product. Go over there, queencitycreativeworks.com. You can also buy anything else that they have for sale. They're very reasonably priced, and they do amazing work, so go hit them up. Also, this episode is sponsored by High Peaks. They take your marketing of your business to another level. They basically elevate it to drone levels, if you get what I'm saying. They are a drone company that can basically market your business in video form and take pictures, I guess, but basically video form. They can do first-person drone views throughout the house if you're selling a house. They can do basically anything that you want with drones. So go hit them up at www.highpeaksimage.com and let them know that we sent you because they are also good friends of ours as well. So, Mike, what's going on?
Today's useless fact is brought to you by my brother-in-law, Frank. All polar bears are left-handed, which will, I'm sure, cause a massive discussion with you. So let me quickly pull up DuckDuckGo and ask your first question, which is, I already know, why are polar bears... No, how do we know polar bears are left-handed? How do we know...
It's a pretty accurate first question.
Polar bears are left-handed.
How does he know polar bears are left-handed?
It's a useless fact that I've also seen like multiple times. Truth behind the myth. Unfortunately, there's no evidence to back up the claim that all polar bears are left-handed. According to DuckDuckGo, which that first source is mirror.co.uk, which this means... Frank, you're fired. So that is the way the cookie crumbles. But let's see. Okay. Wow, this is a dissertation. Can animals be right-handed or left-handed?
I bet it has to do with how they eat and hold toys. Like, for a dog, if they hold it with their right paw, they're just assuming that it's a predominant paw.
Certainly pet cats and dogs can be right or left-pawed. In my experience, there are equal quantities of right and left-pawed cats and dogs, depending which was the first paw the animal used after birth. Others have claimed a preponderance of left-pawed cats. I don't think any serious scientific study has ever been done. That is per Susan Deal, Sheffield, UK. Dan Whaley from Amsterdam, Netherlands, said apparently all polar bears are left-handed. They sneak up on prey by covering their nose with their right paw, their nose being black and therefore showing up against the snowy white background, then club it mercilessly with their left paw, which is why they probably assume that it's left-handed. Frank, you're rehired. Japanese scientists noticed that when chimpanzees used rocks to break open nuts, they would either always use their left or right hand. So chimps may also be left or right-handed. Maybe they're just working on their weak side dominance.
Right. Do you eat? Okay, so when you eat.
First of all, do I use a fork in my left hand?
Yeah, where do you put your fork in your knife?
Hand. Yeah, my right hand uses the fork. My left hand cuts.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the other way around.
But you're right-handed?
Yeah. My knife is in my right hand. Just in case I got to stab somebody in the middle of the dinner.
Your knife's in your right hand. Why? Who taught you that?
I don't know. I just feel more comfortable with the knife because I feel like I don't have the coordination to cut in a straight line with my left hand. So if I'm in the right hand, it's more of like a easy cut. I can put a lot more pressure.
I can do both.
Yeah,
you can do both, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because you're not.
Have you ever thought that you're ambidextrous? Like, can you write with your left hand, or is it a debacle?
Oh, it's an abomination.
Really? I can actually do it.
I can shoot both hands.
Oh, okay.
With both eyes, but it's strange. It kind of feels weird, but you can do it. Just train. You know? I actually recently threw a football with my left hand.
Really?
That was different.
Can you golf left-handed?
Absolutely not.
I can. I've done it before.
Weird flex.
I know.
I
can barely golf right-handed, so.
We've actually tried that at the driving range together, and I almost broke my club. So anyways, housekeeping things. Our single barrel still for sale. Go buy it.
You want to turn down the heater?
No, it feels nice in here.
Bro.
Well, you're the one wearing 9 layers.
Sure, let me take this off.
Pause. There's a TikTok clip. Here we go. Keep supporting China.
China. Did you know that the Toronto Maple Leafs have TikTok on their helmets? Like, how stupid is that? Can you even hear me right now?
Is this another reason why... Wait, the Toronto Maple Leafs? The hockey team?
No, the baseball team.
Toronto Maple Leafs?
Yeah.
Am I drunk?
Yeah. What's wrong? What don't you know?
Because the Toronto Maple Leafs is an NHL team. The Toronto Blue Jays are a baseball team.
Right. That's why I said hockey team.
No, but then you just said baseball.
I didn't say baseball.
You didn't?
I don't think so. Did you know that the Toronto Maple Leafs have TikTok on their helmets? We've done like 5 Wednesday Whiskey reviews before we recorded this. So, no, Toronto Blue Jays, the hockey team.
No, now you just flipped it.
Toronto Maple Leafs, the hockey team.
You're screwing with me, Derek. Screwing with my mind.
Toronto Maple Leafs, the hockey team, has TikTok on their helmets.
How does that even work?
They're just sponsored by them.
What? Oh, like a logo of TikTok? Not like a functioning screen where you're at the face-off and then someone's just watching a useless reel TikTok thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that's obnoxious. So housekeeping things. Our single barrels at Addie's. Go buy it. It's also at Lexi's Fine Wine and Spirits over in Gettsville if you wanted to swing by if you were closer to that store. Otherwise, we are busy. We just did another interview at Addie's, so again, thank you for letting us use your tasting room. We appreciate that. We sat down with good old friend of mine, Nate Geary from WGR Sports Radio 550, and talked about his background, which a lot of people don't know, never heard of, and didn't realize his struggle with concussions. So that was a fun interview, and then, of course, that instantly went off the rails. There's going to be a round 2 with him, and we'll most likely be consuming some stimulants. Well, alcohol is a depression.
Stimulants, yeah. I was going to say, we're not doing Coke. I'm not doing Coke.
Yeah, let's say it twice. Anyways, alcohol is a depressant, right?
Sure is.
So, anyways.
Except tequila. Tequila is a stimulant, which we learned.
Thank you. Yep. From there, we have to book, housekeeping out loud, we have to book all of the interviews with the dietitians and their specialties. So
we'll probably do that when we both come back because April's a busy month.
Yeah, but we really don't have time with our backlog.
Yeah, we do. We got enough.
It's kind of close.
We have one that's not even listed in there that's already recorded.
What is it?
The Sellerman one. Sellerman's Folly.
Oh.
Yeah, so we can upload that if we run short on time, but we should be good.
That's going to be our saving grace.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're my saving grace.
Pause. Outside of that, we have, and that was a pause not because it was an innuendo, but because I just wanted to appreciate and respect that. Let's see, what else? What else is going on, dude? The lateral, transitional, promotional, whatever you want to call it, thing at work is finalized. Insane in the membrane is that whole thing. So
Insane, got no brain.
Is that what it is?
I think so. I
Anyways.
think that's the whole thing, right? It's a David Spade thing, right?
Insane in the membrane? No. I don't think that's a David Spade thing. I think that was an actual song.
Well, David Spade said it in Little Dicky, former child star.
Can you Google Insane in the Membrane and see what the first thing that pops up?
It is a song. Insane in the membrane.
Yeah, who sings it though?
Insane in the membrane. Cypress Hill.
Oh, not what I thought then. So anyways,
Lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. That's all it is.
Perfect.
Correct.
So
you can tell that they did very well in life.
One hit wonder.
David Spade. I'm almost positive David Spade did it. Yeah, Dickie Roberts, former child star.
Gotcha, okay.
Crushed it.
Good memory.
I used to love that movie, dude.
First beat? Nope, not there yet.
Probably not.
So, okay. Weekly recap. We had our BHH quarterly hang.
Whoop, whoop.
Thanks for Megafan and good old Pat for being on. We appreciate that.
Brandon, what are you doing?
He's working, man. He's growing Elon's vision.
Listen.
So there's that.
All right, OPSEC, bro. You're the worst person to say that. What are you talking about growing Elon's vision? Strike it from the record.
Why?
People don't even know our patrons' jobs, do they?
Dude, there's like 50,000 plus people that work for that company. He's okay. Anyways.
Oh, God.
Anywho. I installed an exterior drainage bubbler system combo system at my house. My lawn is a dumpster fire. You got to come over and look at it.
Perfect. So what about this lateral job? You just glossed over it like I was supposed to know what happened. What happened? Why is it settled? What are you talking about?
All the like fine details got worked out, schedule got worked out, like Monday through Friday, benefits, pay, all that stuff.
So when does it take place?
April 18th is my first week of salary.
Is it going to be less stressful for you or more stressful? Are you going to have more time or less time? Are you going to answer any of these questions or no?
I have to... I am playing chess with life.
Perfect. How you doing?
I learned what a pawn is.
Did you do that whole rook over and then jump the king thing? What's that called? What's that chess move called when you do that rook thing?
I don't know, an OODA loop?
I don't think so.
I have no idea. And an OODA loop is regards to like martial arts and self-defense and military action and
Rook over the king move in chess. Super good content. What is that called? I know what it's called. I just can't remember it. What are we doing here? So, okay.
Yeah, can I just answer your question?
Can you please? I've been waiting a while.
So in life, especially at our age, right? Everyone is trying to stabilize major pillars of their life, whether it's work, whether it's their home life, whether it like just stability and consistent elements all the time. So with my initial position, I got put into a role that allowed me to learn the products, learn the company, do a couple installs, like dive in with everybody and cross-train myself by having the most flexible schedule imaginable and basically just like make money, work with different people in different ways, focus on effective communication, go down to the headquarters in CT.
Castle.
Okay.
Thad Castle.
Thad Castle. What about him? Blue Mountain State.
No, just castle's what the rook over the...
Oh,
I'm going to castle my king.
the chess move.
Yeah.
Got it.
Crush it.
So go down to headquarters, learn a bunch there, get a better vision and an idea of like what we're trying to do in Buffalo as a company. The position they wanted to hire me in initially was the one that I just got promoted to. Got it. Cheers. I said no because I don't know anything. Like zero. I don't even know why your carpets are blue. Don't know anything. So put me in sales. I'll be fine. I can learn and then we can go from there. Lasted 6 months. I don't know if it's because I was a quote unquote quick learner or if it's because I literally just dove in, learned everything I possibly could, and then did multiple things outside of my work scope and job title to figure it out.
Sure.
Then the leadership team within the company figured out what my skill sets are, very similar to your work. Like your work figured out that you are good at A, B, C, and D. What that allowed your work to do is put you in a position to succeed, while also giving you the option and realistic possibilities, I guess, to grow within the company that you're employed by, which is amazing. But you're also salary, you have, it's like bank hours, like whatever, you're all set.
75,000 vacation days?
Yeah, 75,000 vacation days. So what I was trying to do was figure out if there's a position within the company that I can move into based off my skill set that would benefit the company and allow myself in 6 years to become a pivotal piece where they're like, if we ever lost him, we're screwed.
Right.
So I did that. So now my official title, if there's a title to it, is production manager. So all that means is I'm in charge of working with our warehouse, our director of logistics, who does like all the scheduling and planning, and the service field supervisor / manager, like depending on what his title is, and then our field supervisor on getting the guys that are doing all the work, the crews, everything they need, and then putting systems in place to streamline all the work we do. So, for example, say we have 8 crews of 3 guys that are doing A, B, and C things. Right now, it's cumbersome trying to get them loaded up and then out of the warehouse to then drive to their job.
Right.
So, and it's not because there's not the right people in place. It's because there's not enough people in enough places to keep up with what the company is doing. So now I'm salary Monday through Friday, set schedule where it's like 7 to 4:30, do what has to be done, and then just grind and help the company grow. And I'm super excited about it. The meetings that I'm in every day are strategic, they're future focused, they're system based, where it's not like we're using Excel. It's like, hey, how can we make this more efficient? And then how do we communicate to every department head so that we're all on the same page? And then what input do they have? And then I'm also in a really cool spot because I can just take like a company van or whatever, go to a job, and I'm just like, I'm another body. Mm-hmm. Like, you're short a guy, like, I got you. Like, I can help out in that way, and that's okay. Like, I have that ability, which is really cool to me, because then I'm hands-on, so I can also learn faster. But then B, it kind of builds that trust and rapport with the guys, where they're just like, he's not like the other 2 previous guys in this position that feathered out almost instantaneously. So I'm super excited for it.
That's cool.
So
good for you.
Thanks, man. So that's that. So the next like 15 to 20 years of my life are just like set at work, and then I can just grow with the company and then rock house. So I'm super excited.
Isn't that kind of rewarding for you to see that? Because even at your current job, you didn't really know what the escalation plan was. And now that you're in this position now, you're like, yeah, okay, I can see myself in here in this position in 5 or 10 years and being comfortable still. Because that previous job, you didn't have that upward mobility, right? Not to get too much into the weeds, but that's kind of why you wanted to go into like current company.
My previous employer.
Right, yeah.
Correct. Yeah. And it was but essentially so here's the major distinction between the two. And both companies are unbelievable to work for. Mm-hmm. And there's no hard feelings with anybody across the board. Like it's not there. Like I'll never have anything bad to say about my previous employer, period. Any of them. So the previous employer that I worked for was at a different state as a company. They've been in business 42 years, and they're flying. They've already reached altitude, and they're just flying, and they're just cruising at altitude, at speed. It's on autopilot, and They're just cranking. The company that I work for now, yes, has been in business for 40 years. However, their new partnership with the headquarters in Connecticut essentially made them a startup within the system, and that system is nationwide. So because of our growth potential with the backing that we have with them, now we were at altitude and we were cruising and we have a great reputation. People love us. People love the employees and the products and everything else. But now we're reaching another level of altitude. So we're going from, 15, 20,000 feet to 40,000 feet and then regaining our speed and then cruising. And me being in the position that I'm in now within the leadership team allows, like, we're all basically pulling back on the joystick to lift the nose of the plane. And it's so cool because now it's like working for a startup, except that startup has been in business for 40 years. So the infrastructure's already there. You don't have to think about like, well, it's a startup. What's going to happen next month? Am I going to get paid? So all of these really cool benefits are coming in. And then now it's just like the people that are there are never going to leave. And we all have the same mindset and vision. And it's just really fun.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing. So, and every day is different because every day is a different problem. So, but it's the same, it's within the same industry and realm. So you can deduce and then solve it. But it's just like this came up. It's just like, this is how we're going to fix it. Sure. So it's a fun troubleshoot. But yeah, it's nuts, dude. Like, I'm super excited.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So my week, I took the hardest test of my entire life.
Yeah, dude.
I was stressed.
We got to talk about your experience walking into that jail that they make you test in, which it's like a state-run testing facility. So insane.
Dude, it is insane because they put me in a room by myself. Like, first of all, it's not specific to the cert, so I don't know what I could have done. Like, this chick that was sitting next to me for 15 minutes, it's not like I could have asked her what a question was because she's not taking the same exam that I am. So why are there cameras on me all the time? They're like, take your smartwatch off, give me your cell phone, no computers. I'm like, what am I doing? Do you want to give me clothes too because I wrote on the inside of my shirt? Like, what's going on? But yeah, so I'm a cybersecurity professional. I work cybersecurity outside of the podcast for a local financial institution, and I got certified in, I don't even remember the acronym of the actual certification that I got, so it's probably not good, but it's Certified in Risk Information Systems Controls, C-Risk, I don't know. But basically, I'm a risk professional, and I transferred into cybersecurity. Don't know anything about technology. And I've openly told my boss this all the time. Like, it's funny because I am a person that does not use sound cybersecurity practices in real life. Like, my password is like password 1, and I joke very frequently about that to my boss. So they all know that I have no idea what I'm doing. But I'm a risk professional, so like that's where my expertise is. So I took this certification to legitimize myself in the cybersecurity space, and like future growth within the company is going to be more towards information security risk instead of like, hey, help desk. Like, that's not me. Like, I'm not a person that's going to be able to diagnose what's wrong with your computer. I'm not that person. I don't know anything about technology. I luckily built my gaming PC and didn't have any issues, but that's because I'm like a competent human and I know to plug things in. People freak out about PCs and like how difficult it is. It's just like, dude, read the manual. You'll see where you got to plug this in. It's not that hard. So I don't understand that. But anyway, so I took this test, super stressed out. I took this 3-day course, and the dude teaching the 3-day course was very passionate, but like it was over WebEx. So it's really hard to pay attention while you're being taught for 8 hours straight when you're in your pajamas and he's animated over WebEx. Like, it's just really weird to pay attention. And he said, like, every time that he said something that was a negative, he'd be like, and you cannot, like, shaking his head from side to side through the whole WebEx screen. And I'm like, dude, I am paying more attention to your tics than I am the content that you're saying. So that wasn't very good because it didn't prep me for this exam. But basically, over the past month, I've been taking all these practice tests and studying my head off, trying to figure out what I need to do for this. And I'm sitting there, I'm taking the test. Every question on the test was not in my practice test at all. An example that I've been telling people, like, a question on the practice test would be like, an apple has more sugars than celery, right? Like, that would be a question on the test. Like, an apple has more sugar than, and then it would list all these options, and then celery would be an answer, and like that would be the answer. That's what you're picking. And the actual exam would be like, what has more sugars, and like a vegetable or a fruit. Like, that would be the actual, it's related. The underlying concept is there, but the actual question is not there. So if you're studying this test to memorize the answers, you're going to be screwed because there's no way that they're going to include that question on the actual exam. I didn't know that. Again, this is my first time taking one of these certifications. So I'm taking this exam and I'm clicking through all these boxes. I never review my test. In school, I aced everything for some reason. And through college, I aced everything. I don't know why, but I was good at school. I was good at college. But this test stressed me out beyond belief. And then I went back and I reviewed every single answer, which I never do either. I never review my answers because I'm of a sound belief that if you review them, you're going to get it wrong the second time because for some reason you just know it. I don't know how, but you just know it the first time, and the second time you're going to get it wrong. So I went back and I reviewed all these tests, and then I pressed submit. And then it's like, are you sure you want to press submit? Like, I'm on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It's like, are you sure you want to phone a friend? Are you sure? Is this your final answer? It's like, yeah, bro, just submit it. And it's like, okay, cool. Thanks for submitting. How about you take this survey on how this test went? I'm like, just give me my friggin' results because I'm going to stab you in the face. It's a 4-hour-long test. So you're sitting in this state-controlled facility for 4 hours. And then at the end of stressing for 3.5 hours, it's like, how was your experience? It's like, shut up. It was terrible. I hate this. I'm not doing this again. Give me my results. So I take this stupid survey. And at the end, I press submit. And it's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, I am sure. Give me my results. And then it's spinning. And it's like calculating results. It calculated my results for 1.5 minutes. And it doesn't seem like a while. But if you're stressing relating for these results, because you know if you fail, the financial institution that I work for is not going to pay for me to retake this. And it was $4,000 for me to take this course and this test. And if I have to retake this test, it's going to be like $700 out of my own personal pocket. So I'm stressing from that too. So it's like calculating results. And it just kept spinning. I'm like, I'm going to lose my mind. She's like, the next people are going to come in. You got to finish up. I'm like, I get that, Nance. I have other stuff to do right now. So it kept spinning. And then it finally popped up and said, you passed. And dude, it felt like the world exited my shoulders. And I was just like, just a complete sigh of relief because I was so stressed for like the past 2 weeks on passing this stupid exam that once I saw that pass, I was like, I'm gonna drink heavily tonight to forget all of this information that I just learned, but also to celebrate that I don't have to sit down with my computer and study again for the 14th night in a row.
Did you have so much anxiety and stress that you couldn't comprehend what the screen was telling you when it first populated? Because when that I had the same experience with one of my old employers, and I had to get certified through the state. And it's the same thing. And when it showed up, the proctor was behind me, and I grabbed his arm, and it was a death grip, come to find out. And I said, "What does that say?" And I couldn't even read what the words were because I was in such a blur of stress. And he's like, "You're good, man. You're all set." I'm like, "That's not good enough. Like, I don't know what that, like, oh, I can leave now?" And he's just like, No, you passed the test." I was so mad where I was just like, "I need you to be specific." He's like, "Dude, right there, it says you pass." I'm like, "Where?" Like, I do it to you all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Literally right there." And then I like look at it and I'm like, "Oh, all right, I won't get fired." Like, all right, sounds good. Why do they make it that much? Another reason why the state is just the literal worst.
I was talking to my boss the entire time leading up to it too. I'm like, "So do I get fired if I fail this, or like what happens after I do this?" And dude, it was the most stressful
Did he
4
say no?
hours of my entire life. Oh yeah, I mean they don't care. Like if you fail it, whatever. People fail these exams all the time, and I'm like, Jesus, man. Like I was so stressed because I'm a perfectionist when it comes to this stuff. The first practice exam that I took of this test, I got a 65. And I was Googling what a passing score is, and no one knew the answer because they keep that so buttoned up. They're like, well, the score ranges from 200 to 800, and a passing score is 450. I'm like, well, then that's 55% is passing. They're like, no. Because each question is weighted with a proficiency level. So the first question that you answer could be mad easy and worth 1 point. The next question that you answer could be an expert level and worth 10 points. So you can answer all the easy questions right. You can answer 75% of all the questions that are easy right and still fail the exam because you didn't pass that proficiency level. So that's what I was stressed out most about is like, I don't even know where I stand with all this information because this exam, I got a 65, but one, these questions aren't going to be on the exam. And two, I have no idea how the hell I can even pass this because every question is weighted different. I was stressed. My eye was like twitching hard that day. Like the muscles under my eye were just like, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. It was very stressful, but I passed and now I'm all set. And now I'm just like walking around with my chest out. I'm like, I'm certified. What's going on? I own you. No, it's a cool feeling, but yeah, it was very, very stressful. But it's very controlled, like we were talking about earlier, beyond what it needs to be controlled with. Like the woman was like, "Do you have a smartwatch?" Like, yeah. It regulates, tells me my blood pressure so I don't pass out. What do you need my smartwatch for? So you can get in answers on it. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I just throw it in my bag, give it to her, and I'm like, just leave me alone for 4 hours.
Yeah, right.
It was just so weird.
It's so obnoxious.
Yeah, and then I'm sitting in the room taking the exam. The walls are very thin, first of all. Mm-hmm. And I hear somebody come out and they're like, "Yeah, I failed." I'm like, God damn it. Obviously, it wasn't my exam that I was taking, but still, it just put that in the back of my mind like, oh, yeah, you can fail these. But yeah, it was fun. Now I get to do training every single year to make sure that I hit a proficiency mark every single year. Yeah, it's great.
Reoccurring training.
Real cool.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, but we'll see. There's cool things in the work for me at work, and that certification was part of it, and it's just only going to get busier from here, so it's exciting.
I love it because it's not like we're not busy here.
Right.
And it's not a bad thing, but we are 100% going to probably be recording Sunday mornings.
And honestly, I wouldn't be against that.
No, because Monday through Friday, it's going to be an absolute zoo. And if there's an emergency on Saturday, then what are you going to do?
And then we can honestly spend more time with our wives. Like, we might want to consider doing that. The only problem is golf's coming up. And if I have to cancel a tea time for Sunday morning because we got to record, not going to be a happy camper. We can do the episode in the golf cart. How about that?
Why don't you just...
Hell yeah.
Why don't you just golf Saturday then?
True, I could. Efficiencies. We could do that.
Correct.
Or we could do an episode on the golf course. That would be a riot.
Maybe. Weather depending. We have a lot of equipment that's not waterproof.
Sure do.
Yeah. So, okay. Meat and potatoes of this episode. We'll start off with our first topic. How do you feel Derek Acruso, as a New York State resident / Erie County resident, / Buffalo resident for paying for part of the Bills Stadium.
I hate it. Taxes. Socialism. I mean, I don't mind it. My whole thought process is if I have to pay for this, but can guarantee that the Bills are going to be here for the next 30 plus years, I'm okay with that.
Same.
And it's not like it's going to increase my taxes that much.
It's not increasing your taxes.
Yeah. So who cares? They're not fixing the roads with my money anyway, so it might as well go to a good cause, which is keeping the Bills here.
Have you heard about the plans for Orchard Park around the stadium?
I honestly haven't, and I'm interested. Do you know them?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's up?
What they're talking about, there's like a superintendent for the town of Orchard Park. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
First of all these people are coming out of the woodwork for like local radio to talk about it. And they're discussing what happens to the Ralph Highmark Stadium.
Yeah.
Like, what do we do with it? Like, it's a monstrosity of concrete. Obviously, locals are going to hoard and raid everything and then try to steal a chair for the basement, right? Like normal things. I'd be happy with a brick.
Buffalo Happy Hour should get in on that. Take a piece of the field or something.
You know 100% it's going to be first come, first serve.
Oh, yeah.
So
Maybe our friend Nate Geary can hook us up.
We'll see. I'll talk to Gear Stick. The crazy thing about the town is that there's no definite plan yet for the current stadium. Also, reason being, they have like 4 more seasons left there before they transition to the new one. So a part of that is they're going to build up around the new stadium. That's the goal. What that looks like is what was answered this morning by the Orchard Park superintendent. They're talking about pedestrian bridge walkways over Abbott Road to get to the new stadium. The current stadium would be bulldozed and hotels, shops, bars, restaurants will be put there. A outdoor playground for kids will be put there so that like parents can drink and their kids can be on a playground waiting for the game. They're going to be doing tours of the new stadium so that fans can have more access to it. They want to have Section 6 football there, which is high school football, at the stadium, lacrosse games at the stadium, concerts at the stadium. They want this stadium to be quote-unquote multi-use, but the build-up around the stadium is what really is intriguing because then that brings in the conversations of Super Bowls, new stadiums. That's what happens when you get a new stadium. You get a Super Bowl. We're
not going to get one if it's not closed. If this isn't a dome, we're not getting a Super Bowl here. They're not going to leave the championship game up to if it snows that day or not. That's
I don't know, though, man.
Happen.
I mean, you know what threw me for a loop is the NHL's having outdoor games, which, granted, I understand it's a winter sport. However, so is football.
They're not doing that for the Stanley Cup, though.
Well, right. But the Stanley Cup is immeasurable compared to the Super Bowl regarding ratings and revenue that it would bring in.
Sure, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they're not going to leave a Super Bowl up to winter weather conditions. We're never going to have a Super Bowl here if we don't have a dome.
A winter Super Bowl would be amazing. Do you honestly think nationwide NFL viewers and fans of the game would be opposed to a winter Super Bowl?
Viewers and fans, no. Players, no. Or viewers and fans, they wouldn't have an issue with it, and I think that they would love it. But the players and owners and people who depend on their money being made based off if they win the Super Bowl or not, they're never going to do it. That leaves too much to chance.
I think it would piss off certain people because if the elements cause a game outcome, if it changes the game outcome, then it might piss them off. I can see that point. But that'd be gnarly.
It would be so fun.
However, the field's also going to be heated.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's always going to be above 50 degrees to allow grass to grow naturally, but then also it's a grass field, so it's the same system as Green Bay. Green Bay's...
Don't we have turf right now?
Yeah.
So we're going to grass?
Correct.
Okay, that's cool.
It's player safety's increased, way less injuries, easier to maintain, believe it or not. And it's just better, period. Grass is better. It just is.
I was wondering what they were going to do with, like, outside entertainment and hotels and everything. Because right now, if you want to go to a Bills game from out of town, you're basically going to get murdered at the Red Roof Inn. Like, that's your option there. You're done. Or there's that weird motel in front of La Galleria. Other than that, you're dead.
Yeah, I don't know if it's death at Red Roof or if it's an OD.
Yeah.
But don't worry, because a Dollar General's there now. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Like right next to the Burt's.
Yeah.
Also, Burt's. Moving on. So, but then the other question is, what do we do with the $1 billion in-debt community college in that area? Because this new stadium is like 1.2 million square feet or something obnoxious. So, like, what do we do with a community college that's lacking enrollment that has 3 locations, Northtown City, Southtowns?
You have to close that building and demo it. There's no reason.
Useless.
Yes, there's no reason to keep that up.
For those that are out of state listeners or out of country listeners, right? Because for some reason we're international. Shout out to our listeners in Madrid. I wish I was kidding.
What is our next highest outside of the U.S.? I'm going to look that up while you say this.
So ECC South stands for Erie Community College Southern Campus, meaning it's in the Southtowns right off of Southwestern Boulevard. Kind of just fits, right? This building used to be, correction, it was supposed to be used for a jail. Was never used as a jail. Became a community college, and
It is Spain.
yeah, shout out.
Second highest. Third highest, India. Little known fact. Today's a weird fact of the day since we are on part 2 right now.
If any listeners in India want to send us a nice spice, let me know. So anyways, the facility there on good old Southwestern, right over there by One Bill's Drive, is useless. Mm-hmm. And now kids don't go there because you don't have to. And I think a majority of the traffic on their parking lots is due to the only DMV kind of in the Southtowns. Yeah. So you could move the DMV.
They put the one in the Southgate, I think, preemptively knowing that they're going to just close that entire campus.
Which is like further north of the other. Dude, I think there's like a DMV in like Holland or Springville. Like,
oh, really?
Southern tier.
Yeah.
Where I think 4 people go a year. Like, got my plate. Like, most people forget to put license plates on their vehicles because it doesn't matter. And you always hit a deer anyways.
ECC South didn't specialize in everything. They're like, we got drugs, so if you want to come here, you can come here and get high. But other than that, like, ECC North was criminal justice. That was...
Well, the law enforcement academy's there.
Yeah.
For local municipalities.
City was what? City specialized in something too, architecture or design or something like that? Some sort of creative elements. That's why we never went there. But South is just, you can take gen ed, we'll teach you about the sexual organs, we'll give you cocaine, and then you can just go home.
So the ECC South was used as the porch stairs to enter the house. So it's like it's the gateway to get into a real college. Like you're an athlete in high school, you don't care about your grades, period. Like you'd rather just try to have fornication experiences and you're more into working out and playing a sport than you are going to class because gym, not saying that this is at all my experience in life.
Yeah.
And you go to ECC to increase your GPA by taking math. Not even like algebra, it's math. So you learn how to remove decimals and
you do the multiplication tables again.
Yeah, and then you get accepted into a college.
Some people can use it, again, not speaking from experience here, to alleviate some of the costs associated with a more prestigious college to get some of your gen eds out of the way.
Yeah.
But then you go to the prestigious college and they're like, you were taught by a probation officer that was just fired because they were jacking off on their company computer. So I can't take this anymore. What are you going to be able to do with this? You have to take this again. And then they're like, okay. So
yeah,
it was a debacle. Again, we did not go there.